Hi, my name is Ida May and welcome back to my online series. My today's guest is amazing, cool chick. She's literally the it girl. She travels the world, she works backstage on fashion shows, she works on shoots with the stars, she hosts seminars, she does education, she does mentoring. I mean, she is literally a woman of many titles. She is a global director of hair.com. She is a chancellor for fellowship for British hairdressing. And she is also a global artist for multiple different brands. She has won many different awards. And I got to meet her about 10 years ago when I did my first job in hair modeling. So here she is. I'm super excited to welcome Ashleigh Hodges. Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
I'm impressed you remember all my titles. I don't even remember them all.
I think there were so many titles. I was like, oh my God, how can I even remember them? So then I was like, at least if I get a few of the titles in, that'll be enough.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, so how have you been? How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Really good. Excited to be on the sofa with you.
Exactly. Yeah, you look super cool.
Thanks. I'm rocking a very cool outfit. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think the first time when I met Ashleigh, actually, I was like, who is this cool chick? I was like, is she a model? And then I was like, oh no, she's working on a hair for this business. So talking about style and brands and all that kind of stuff, he actually brings us to Charli Cohen, who we are rocking at the moment. And I really love Charli. I met Charli again a long time ago. She was one of the first fitness brands that brought her fitness activewear for fashion weeks. So here's another link to this cool check. But I'd like to know a little bit more about your style. What does style means to you?
So style is a way for me to express myself. It always has been, like, even when I was a kid and was a bit of a goth or a grebo, whatever you wanted to say. And it's just a way, again, for us to express ourselves, my clients for them to express themselves when I do their hair, us to express a look when we're doing a model. It's a way to kind of transition what's in your head out to the rest of the world.
Amazing. And I love the little thing what you actually said, that your style is a fusion of Tim Burton and Audrey Hepburn. So, it girl, what does that mean? I briefly mentioned that, but there's more to being an it girl than just that.
Yeah, so I won the It Girl back in 2014, and I basically had to submit a giant portfolio of all the work that I'd done kind of leading up to that point. The brand collaborations that I'd worked with, the cities and the global countries that I'd travelled to, and just kind of like a massive portfolio of my work, but in a really creative way. So I'd actually made the whole book out of hair, submitted that, and you get finalised, and then I was the winner, which was incredible. And it's for an awards ceremony that's like for under 30s, so it's kind of pinpointing you as like the top female under 30 at that point.
That is super awesome. I mean, being under 30, exactly how Charli Cohen was featured in Forbes being one of the under 30 girls. So that is, again, a really cool connection there. So it must feel amazing. One of your dreams to come true, to win something big like that and being so young. What are you dreaming about now?
Well, it's hard now because I've had like a really interesting journey the last few years, and when I look back at what I was dreaming, all the different awards and things like It Girl, back when I was younger, I kind of hit a point in my life where I was like, oh, I don't know if what I'm dreaming about now is exactly what I actually want. So I was striving for all these things and then kind of not getting them and thinking, why am I not getting this? And then I realised, oh, it's because I actually don't want it. So I've had like a massive reset in the last couple of years to figure out what I actually want, and the dreams that I want aren't necessarily all career focused now, they're just encompassing my whole life. So it's interesting. My dreams that I have now aren't giant awards, they're just general things that I'd like in my life. Amazing.
So, what does your life consist of at the moment then? I mean, for me it sounds it's all about hair. You were born as a hairdresser, which is crazy. You started when you were 11, Your mum's a hairdresser. Your nan, is it?
Yeah, my great nan was a hairdresser. My great auntie was a hairdresser. A lot of my close friends are hairdressers. My partner's a hairdresser. I get surrounded by hair people.
Wow. So, or is your life all about hair? And what does hair mean to you? And I think previously we were talking about, as Charli says, her brand is an extension of herself. Would you say hair is an extension of you? Being so much surrounded by hair all the time.
Yeah, I think completely. It's definitely an extension of me. I think your passions always become an extension of yourself. But again, what I needed to do for me personally was to kind of broaden that out so that it wasn't just all on one thing, which is why I need people like you in my life, right? to like bring me different levels. Because at one point I was surrounded by just hair people. And I really needed to have more layers to my life. So now I have incredible people like you, and I go to a lot of different meditation things, and I have a lot more layers to me now than what I used to have.
Sounds amazing, and the layers is what we need, and the variety in life. Still dipping back into the hair, you said you love the hair industry because of the variety, and it sounds like you get to do so every day is different, and you're a very curious person and always creating. I guess it's I don't know, variety and
totally the variety of life, and I think that's why, like a couple of years ago when I went totally freelance. That it worked really well for me, because everyone used to say to make it or whatever you needed to focus on solely one thing, and I would get bored so easily, and actually what I've learned is that you do your path and you do you, and rather than taking all these different advices, I was just like, right, I need variety in my life. So I need one day to be on a shoot and the next day to be looking after lovely clients, and then the day after that planning something for an educational seminar. Like, that's what gives me excitement. If I am doing the same thing every single day, I personally get stagnant, and then my brand suffers, and like my brand needs that life.
Exactly. That's exciting, and because Ashleigh does a lot of mentoring as well, and one of the advice what you have given is always just go for it and try new things, and even when you think this is not exactly where my career should go, or this is not exactly where I want to go to, try new things anyway, because that might lead you into somewhere else. And I was wondering, is there something that you could pinpoint, that there was a moment or something that you started doing which you were like, well, this is not kind of my thing, but it led you to somewhere else?
Yeah, probably. Let me think.
Something that you didn't think that, oh, this is my thing, but I'm going to do it anyway, and then it turned out to navigate you to a different direction.
Yeah, I suppose. So my good friend and business partner, he got the job to be the head hairstylist on The Voice, and TV in general wasn't something I'd ever thought I'd go into. I'd tried Fashion Week and it wasn't necessarily for me, and at the time I was doing a lot of brand work and kind of building up that way. So he kind of came to me and was like, right, I want this team and I want you to be part of it. And I was a bit like, yeah, I'll do it for you because I love you. And didn't really think, other than the excitement of being on a TV show, more than that. And actually it's kind of led our relationship to be stronger. It's led me to grow more as a hairstylist in general, but also it's what kind of helped our business together bloom, because without that like extra deep connection that we had from working like 14 days together, staying back at my place and things like that, that kind of led us to then create the business that we now have together. So that's definitely, when I look back actually, that's probably one of the things I think, oh, perhaps if I hadn't have said yes to that opportunity, I wouldn't have one of the businesses that I have.
That's amazing.
Cool.
Amazing. So people, just go there, just do it. Challenge yourself, and then doing something different helps you to grow as a business, grow as a person, but also do know when to say no. And you have said no to multiple things, especially in the past few years, and how we kind of were connected again with the whole movement and yoga. So do you want to tell us something about that, not just being the yes girl, just also knowing when to say no?
Yeah. So yeah, because when I started my career, I used to say yes to like every opportunity, and And it was brilliant because I got to learn so many different variety of things. But I got to a point where I was still saying yes, and I had to kind of learn that actually at this moment in time I don't need to be saying yes to everything, and I needed to kind of go, right, if that job was tomorrow, would I get excited about waking up in the morning to do it? Or if somebody was asking me to do something, is it actually valuable for me, my career, my brand? And starting to think of yourself as an actual business and as a brand, and actually as a human, and mentally whether that was a good thing for you to be doing. So it's kind of about living in flow and understanding what's right for you at that moment in time. And just because it's right for you at like a couple of months ago doesn't mean it's right for you right now. Equally, if it's not right for you right now doesn't mean in 6 months' time it's not going to be right for you then. So it's understanding what works for you in that moment.
Amazing. And if you would give us a practical tip how to stay in your flow or how to realign yourself, is there a tool or something that you use every day, a snippet of something that helps you to realign back to yourself and know what you actually want and what works for you?
Yeah, so it sounds like really obvious, but breathing has been my thing to like recenter myself. And 3 deep breaths where you ground in, and I pretend that I'm in a plant pot, and I'll just do 3 deep breaths, center myself within, and then I can like move forward and know that I'm fully present. And it's little things like making myself be fully present. So when I'm brushing my teeth, going, right now I am brushing my teeth, I am not trying to turn the shower on as well, and all these other things. And someone said to me, meditation isn't necessarily always you doing all these incredible meditative journeys. It is just about being present and being in that moment. So quite often I will do my 3 deep breaths and go, right now I'm talking to Ida and not thinking of anything but talking to you.
Oh my God, that's so amazing. And I was like, oh, I need to really think of that now as well. And from here, we're going to take it into our flow. Ashleigh asked me to create something that will open the shoulders, open the hips, something that she could do in the morning or in the evening, just to get a little bit of energy back, as she's all the time working with clients, giving energy, doing hair. So we are ready to get on the mat. But before we go there, where can we find you online, real life?
Instagram, Ashleigh Hodges Hair. I look after clients here in this beautiful space, the Social London, and then travelling all over the world.
So, yeah, stay tuned. Ashleigh Hodges on Instagram, and you can get a lot of inspiration from there as well. So, yeah, thank you so much. Let's start in a child pose. So we're going to go all the way down, letting the knees fall open, and just bring your arms forward. Drop the forehead down to the floor, and then take a breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Just letting go of the day, whatever you need to do today, letting go of the day if you already had a long day. So let's take another breath in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Just a really, really nice way to reset the body, reset the mind. And one more big breath in. You can even voice it out if it feels good. Yes. And then from there, we're going to find our way into all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Round your spine, coming into the cat. Push the floor away, so really rounding that spine, creating a little bit of space in between of the shoulders. Then inhaling, opening the chest out, coming into the cow. Rotate the biceps forward, triceps back. Exhale, curl and contract, round your spine, scoop the belly in, push the heels of the hands away from the knees. And then inhale, opening the chest out, drag the heels of the hands towards the knees. And I want you to freestyle it out from here, so you can keep going with these cats and cows, where you can start doing little circles with the head, circles with the hips, doing whatever feels good in your body right now. If you feel any tightness anywhere, you can linger there a little bit longer. You can even open the knees, lifting the heels off the floor. Just find a little bit of a time on the mat, just doing you and what feels good. Don't worry about too much which way you need to go. Just follow your body, follow the breath. And then slowly from here, we're going to find our way back into the child pose. Then drop your forearms down to the floor. Snake forward through extended cow. Squeeze the elbows into the waistline. Exhale, curl and contract. Round your spine, scoop the belly in. Then drop your forearms down to the floor. Snake forward through extended cow. Squeeze the elbows in. And exhale, curl and contract, coming into the cat. Once more, drop the forearms down to the floor so you activate the triceps. Squeeze the chest through the arms. Exhale, come through the cat, tuck the toes under, and push your hips back and lift the knees off the floor to come into the loaded beast. This is one of my favorite poses. It opens up the hips, opens up the shoulders. Then extend your knees. We're going to get that flow going. So ripple forward into the high plank. Bend your knees, push back, and then ripple forward like a wave in the ocean. So we're going to find that flow, what Ashleigh was talking about. Actually, how can you stay in the flow? We're going to find the flow of the body here. Then coming to the high plank, pause here. Squeeze your glutes, pull the stomach in, shoulders forward, and then drop your knees down to the floor. Drop your chest and the chin down to the floor. Snaking forward into the baby cobra. Maybe lift it up into the upward dog if it feels good. And exhale, we're going to find the downward dog. It might be your first downward dog of the day, so do what feels good. You can pedal the feet out, shake the head, easing into the hips. And then from there, start finding stillness in your downward dog. Hands shoulder width distance apart, spreading the fingers out wide, biceps forward, triceps back, shoulders away from the ears, core is nice and tight. So draw the ribs in, open the sit bones out, soften the knees so the back stays straight. Then lift your heels off the floor. Drop your heels to the right, soften through the knees and stick the bum back. So you're going to find that bend in the body. Push the left heel of the hand down to really create that beautiful stretch on the left side of the body. Inhale, come to side plank, activating the core. Then drop your right knee down to the floor, coming into a modified side plank. Keep floating the left hand down towards your left heel. And then reach your right arm up and over. So we're going to do this kind of a rainbow action. So you're going to reach your right arm up and over, and then flow your right hand down to the floor, left arm up. Create this space. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, reach to the left ankle, reach your right arm up and over, stretch it out. And then place your right hand down to the floor, reach your left arm up and over. And again, go for the length. And once more, inhale, lift up. Moving with the breath, exhale takes you further, deeper. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the floor, lift your left foot off the floor. Extend, and then round your spine, curl and contract left knee into the nose. Then inhale, reach your right arm forward, left foot back. So coming into this Superman position. Exhale, curl and contract, round your spine, working into the core. So you're going to find the power in the core, working into the back as well. Extend your right arm forward, left foot back. And last one, curl and contract, round your spine, knee to the nose. Inhale, right arm forward, left foot back. Then release your right hand onto the floor. Bend your left knee, bring your left knee into the nose once more. And slide your left foot over the right. So cross the legs, we're going to descend into the cow. Open the feet out. If you're tight on the hips, you might need a block or a pillow or something to sit on if the hips are not touching the floor quite comfortably. This really opens up the hips. It's a really, really nice place for the hips. Then bring your right hand down to the floor. We're going to add a little bit of a stretch to the side of the body, a little bit of ease into the neck by bending the body to the side. Then take your body up and over, just like we kind of similar flow what we've been doing. Place your left hand, left forearm down towards the floor. Reach your right arm up. You should feel this side a little bit more, especially it feels pretty juicy on the right hip here. Release the neck, unclench the jaw. And now drop your right elbow towards your waistline. Keep the body as it is. Spread the fingers out wide and now extend your fingers down towards the floor. This really goes deep into the shoulder, into the neck area. So it's really good, especially if you're a hairstylist and you're standing up and doing lots with your arms and leaning over. So it's really good to open the shoulders and the neck. Then from here, start reaching the fingertips even further down. So that's kind of taking you up. From here, slide your right foot under, coming into figure 4. Keep your feet as they are. Just flex your left foot and lift the chest up. If you can't feel it, you bring your heel a little bit closer to the bum, and vice versa. If it's too deep, you bring the right heel a little bit away from the body. Bring the shoulders away from the ears, lift the chest up and lift the heart up. And make sure that you're breathing. The importance of breathing when we're moving. Giving that oxygen for the muscles so you can go a little bit deeper, layer by layer. Then release, soften, bring both feet down to the floor, reverse tabletop. Fingertips forward towards your heels, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up, activate the hamstrings, and then maybe release the head if it feels good. Then from here, look down towards your knees. Soften the elbows, drop your hips towards the heels, maybe lift your heels off the floor. One of my favorites for the shoulders. Just breathe into it, go as deep as it feels comfortable. And then we're going to release it, drop your hips down, bring the soles of the feet together, and then fall forward. Now just let go. You can hang heavy, let the gravity do the work. Breathing into the back of the body. And exhaling out through the nose, or even through the mouth if you fancy an extra release. And slowly from there, roll your spine up. We're going to get ready to do the second side. So cross your legs, find your way into high plank and do your vinyasa. You can simply place the hands down and jump the feet back to do your vinyasa. You can go through the knees. Do what feels right and good for you right now. We're all going to meet up in a downward dog. Let's take a deep inhale in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Then lift your heels up to the ceiling and now drop your heels to the left. Soften the knees and stick that bum back, really opening out the right side of the body. Feel nice. It feels nice. Then from here, take a side plank, extend your right arm forward. Drop your left knee down to the floor to come into a modified side plank. Reach your right fingers towards your right ankle. Really find that length through the left side of the body. Inhale, cartwheel your hands back down, left hand onto the floor, right hand reaches up. Stretch it out. Inhale takes you up. Exhale reaches out and down. And take it all the way up, all the way down. We're going to do one more. Inhale up. Exhale takes you down, so we move with the breath. Then take your left hand down to the floor. Take your right hand down to the floor as well. Square your hips, lift your right foot off the floor. Exhale, curl and contract, round your spine, scoop the belly in, forehead to touch the knee. Inhale, reach your left arm forward, right foot back, create that space, create the length. And curl and contract, round your spine, squeeze it all in. Inhaling, finding that length from your right hip to the left shoulder. And let's do it once more. So 3 of these, just like Ashleigh was talking about those 3 breaths previously. Move with the breath, use the breath, find the power of the breath. Release your left hand down to the floor, bring your right knee into your nose, curl and contract. Slide your right foot over the left, back into the cow, drop your hips down and find the seat. Now place your left hand down to the floor and reach your right arm up. Really open the right shoulder out, so trying to maybe lift the heart up to the ceiling. Then take it to the other side, placing the right hand down to the floor, right forearm towards the floor, and then reach your left arm up. And now here, you simultaneously get an opening through the hip, you work into the shoulders, and let's take it deeper into the neck by bending the left arm and extend your left fingers down towards the floor. That's it, and relax your right shoulder as well. You can bring your chin away from the chest or towards, maybe lift the heart up more. Find the way that works best for you. Be quite intuitive with your moves. Then roll your spine up or take your body up and coming into figure 4. Right foot over the left thigh now, hands behind the back, right foot is flexed so that keeps the knee safe. So this pose here is amazing if you're flying around a lot, being up in the air, sitting down a lot. Before the flight, after the flight. It's also amazing for runners, amazing for cyclists, amazing for all you guys that do 100 squats a day or whatever you're doing out there. Hips also tend to take a lot of emotions, store a lot of emotions. There's also fascia in the hip area, so it's very, very good. Good release this one. Then release your right foot down, coming back into the reverse tabletop, fingertips forward, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up, activate the hamstrings, glutes, find the power through the posterior chain of the muscles on your legs. Release the head. Then look down to the navel, coming back into that beautiful shoulder stretch. Drop it down. And yeah, we were talking about being a rock and roll. We are such rock and roll stars with.
Not in this position, I'm not.
Yeah, this is maybe not the most rock and roll position, but you need to stay tuned to find more. Then drop your hips down to the floor. Let's let the knees fall open, so also the feet together. And then just flop forward, just to let it go, melt down into the earth. Just ease it off. Then roll your spine up, bring the soles of the feet together, shuffle forward slightly, drag the hips towards the heels, and then roll your spine down to the floor, all the way down into and we're going to shift into a bridge from here. So drag the heels towards the hips, fingertips towards your heels, and then roll your hips up into the bridge. Just take it a little bit deeper to open those shoulders. You can interlace the fingers and walk your shoulders underneath yourself. Make sure that the knees are shooting forward. Your toes and heels are in the same line. Squeeze the glutes. Push the heels forward. So maybe you can create a little bit of space through that lower back. Lifting the heart up. Almost like you can think that you could give a little kiss into your heart. Then from here, release your hands. Soften the upper back, soften the middle back and the lower back. Find your hips down on the floor, and then let your knees fall to the right and to the left, just to release and ease that spine. Then extend your left foot forward. Hug your right knee into the chest. Give it a good little pinch on the hip. And then guide your right knee all the way over towards the left. You can use your left hand on the top of the right knee to come into that supine spine twist. Opening the right arm out. Giving a little tap for Ashleigh. So yeah, this is a really, really amazing place just to open the spine. Reset the spine. And do exactly the same thing onto the other side. So extend your right foot forward. Hug your left knee into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze in the hips. Then guide your left knee down to the floor towards the right. You can use your right hand on the top of the left knee to guide it down to the floor. It doesn't matter if your shoulder touches the floor. Maybe you can create a little click on the back. It feels really good. And it's a really good way, this little supine spine twist, to start your day. Even if you're in the bed, before you get off the bed, do this twist. Twisting the body all the way from coccyx to the neck, resetting the spine, resetting the mind before you start your day. Then release, take your body through the center. Hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a good squeeze, really good squeeze. Hold it at the forearms. Maybe lift the head off the floor. Final little squeeze before we're going to release it into a Savasana. Take a breath in. And with the exhale, just release it all out. Into Savasana, letting the feet fall open, letting the arms fall open. And just literally letting this practice sink in. This is the most important posture of them all. As this is where the practice comes together. You can stay here for longer, just pause the video, take your time. Just let go. And slowly from there, when you're ready, you can maybe reach the arms up and over the head. Have that long stretch like you stretch in the morning. Hugging the knees in, and then simply just finding your way up, back up into a seated position. We're going to close our practice in a cross-legged position. Let's take the hands into the heart center. And let's take a deep inhale in through the nose. And one cooling breath out. And as I always like to say, from my heart to yours, thanks so much for practicing with us. And thank you, Ashleigh. Namaste.